Hey everyone, welcome to Mates TV. So yeah, Liverpool crowned as champions again, finally, after 30 years. And look, I did my live reaction last night. Thanks to everyone who's watched that and dropped likes on that, etc, etc so far. And thanks to everyone who joined us on the live show over on the Redmen TV. But, you know, I haven't had about 12 hours now to sit in it. I just thought I wanted to give you a bit of a considered reaction, slightly less shouty, more considered reaction to what we saw last night. And I'll be honest, it hasn't really sunk in still, and I'm not sure what it will take. I think it might take literally seeing Jordan Henderson lift the trophy for it to be the true watershed moment for me. But I got in last night and I put Sky Sports News on, and I was watching Jurgen Klopp crying on the telly, Jordan Henderson crying on the telly, Liverpool fans celebrating, Liverpool players celebrating together. And look, I mean, I know the vast majority of people who watch this channel will be Liverpool fans. I know like 100% almost the people who watch this channel will be football fans. So I'll just try to contextualise as much of this as possible for you, because for anyone who doesn't get it and get what it means, because I think when you live in the way that we talk about football these days, and we probably always talked about this, but because of mass communication, because of social media and stuff, we're far more connected to fans of other football clubs, and we see far more of other football clubs than we ever would have seen before. So I think there's a lot of fans who are kind of ingrained in this. Liverpool are just the baddies, and Liverpool are a gang of dickheads. We hate Liverpool, and we throw banter around at Liverpool because Liverpool, and people don't believe in what Liverpool are, and they hate to see Liverpool doing things well and doing things good. One of the things that really stood out for me last night was Neville Southall, who, you know, people more my age and above will recognise as the former Everton goalkeeper, probably the best goalkeeper Everton have ever had, one of the best goalkeepers that English football's ever seen. Tweeted his congratulations. I got dogs abuse off Evertonians for it, but because, you know, he recognises that, you know, you should be able to congratulate success and congratulate great things when they happen. And the thing that really stood out for me last night that tells you the importance of this, not just to me but to Liverpool fans and you know, Liverpool fans around the world, but obviously Liverpool fans also within the city as well. There's actually two things for me. It was getting in last night and my wife showed me a video. My wife tolerates football, because football for her is the thing that keeps, you know, yes, it keeps food on our table, but it also keeps me out the house, which for her is not a good thing. Some relationships, I'm sure people will be made up with that, but not in ours. So she does. She's you know, she's not a massive football fan, but she loves the emotion of football. She's not particularly into the sport of it, but she loves the emotions that it stirs up. You know, we've watched loads of big games together over the years. And she showed me a video that she recorded from our back garden at the full-time whistle of the Chelsea-Man City game. And you walked out, and there's not a shred of red. There's no flags in sight. There's no smoke bombs. You know, all you can hear is car horns beeping, people screaming yes into the sky. And just like fireworks going off, and you can start the strains of songs being sung and people clapping and all that kind of stuff. And that's just like the streets and the roads and the gardens surrounding you in Liverpool just coming alive because of this moment. And you know, and people talk about it. Does it take the shine off it not being a Liverpool game played? And I'll level you. I genuinely thought it would. I was prepared to just. I wasn't even sure I was going to watch the Chelsea City game, because I've had to watch too many Man City games in recent years, and I hate having to put my faith in a world-class football team not doing world-class things. And make no bones about it, Man City are an unbelievable football team with an unbelievable manager and incredible players, so you can't really put too much faith in. It's like it's the reverse of putting your faith in Everton. Everton always disappoint by being crap. Man City always disappoint by being amazing. And in this instance, you know, the idea that a bit of a more modern enemy kind of comes to our favour in Chelsea was a good thing. But anyway, you know, it's the emotional point, and what she was blown away with anyway was this idea that, and why it means so much, is that we're living in shitty times. We are living in incredibly shitty times, and that's not just because of the pandemic. The world feels like we're living in a dystopian future, the kind of Orwellian dystopian future where, you know, where things aren't quite as happy and well run as they should be. But yes, we're also living in a global pandemic as well, and we've all been largely trapped inside our houses for 3 odd months, unable to take joy in life, the simple things. And this in some regards is, you know, a very simple thing that's happened here. it's a football team, the same as they have done for years and years, previously, 18 previous times, winning enough football matches to win a silver pot. But the outpouring of emotion that it's caused, I think, and that shows you just in a microcosm what it means, not just to Liverpool fans, but what it means to the wider world, what it means to Liverpool fans. Look, I'm sure there'll be people in the media looking to condemn Liverpool fans for turning up at Anfield. Joe Anderson, the mayor, talked about his fears around it and what have you. The thing for me that stands out in all of this is that, obviously Sky Sports sent the cameras down, Norwegian telly said people sent cameras down, people went down, people flocked en masse, and I'll level with you. I wasn't going to go. I felt, I don't know, compelled, drawn to it somehow. And, the thing, again, to pull back on this, Liverpool weren't playing at Anfield. Liverpool weren't even playing a game of football, and it meant so much to Liverpool fans that they chose spontaneously to just to flock en masse to that situation, just to be around people. And I'm not going to get lost in the lockdownness of it, and I don't really want to get lost in the whataboutism of it. But because it's irrelevant. The fact that people are going to en masse to beaches because they fancy having a suntan, because for whatever reason, I'm going to do it anyway. I'll do some whataboutism. Fucking whataboutism. On the grand scheme of things, I think, the two wrongs don't make a right. But also what I'd say is that, again, it was, if Liverpool weren't playing football, they weren't playing in Liverpool, the match that won us the game was a game between two teams that we don't like in another part of the country. And the outcome of that was still so important and so mega that it caused people to descend upon Anfield en masse and to go out onto the streets and to start hugging random strangers and stuff. And I can't talk for what the knock-on effects of all that will be, but I can only look at what that was from my perspective, in my eyes, and it was a pretty beautiful situation, to be perfectly honest. And again, it shows you what it means to fans. Like 30 years, and some of this will fall on deaf ears. If you're a fan of a football club that hasn't won loads of silverware or much silverware or whatever, it'll fall on deaf ears to hear that we feel a bit downtrodden or whatever. But the thing for me is that particularly for people, for all Liverpool fans, but particularly for people in this city, it's been Liverpool is a very downtrodden city. It's a city that that wears its heart on its sleeve. It's a city that battles against adversity. It's a very left-leaning city, which doesn't work very well for the city in times when we've got a very right-leaning government, and that's happened a lot in the last 30 plus years, 40 years, especially. And in addition to that, as football fans, we've had to carry around the stains of the past. We carry around the stain of Heysel, and we carry around the deep-rooted, deep-seated cuts to the heart that Hillsborough caused us. And you have to live in a world where people use that as a stick to beat you with, as though it's an acceptable form. People, fans of other clubs talking about Heysel, weaponising Heysel instead of actually, just looking at it. What it was an absolute tragedy, the same as so many other footballing tragedies have been. But these are stains that Liverpool carry around with them, and that's the serious stuff. And then on the lighter stuff, you've just got the day-to-day things that come with it as well. It's just that Liverpool, if you're under the age of 25, Liverpool is a team that you might love, and you'll love as much as anything in your life, and as much as anyone at any age in any part of the world. But Liverpool have just grown to disappoint you, and you've had to live in this modern, social media culture where you're being bantered on an absolutely daily basis, and have a thick skin, let it roll off your back, etc., etc. But it's hard. It is a tie, because Liverpool have been the whipping boys for so long. They've become a meme. They've been a bit of a joke. Slippy G, Slippy G and all that shit can get in the bin finally, because you know what, I'm happy to admit it now, it really hurt. It did. It absolutely devastated me to come that close and have one of the greatest club legends have his name and his career almost tarnished by it. And you know what, I haven't seen Gerrard win the league, but I have seen my Liverpool win the league finally after 30 years. I was 7 years old. I was taken to Anfield. It wasn't like I wanted to go. I had no concept of what it meant at the time. I didn't go through the highs and lows of that season. I didn't get to experience what it meant. So it's a memory that I have, but it's not one that I have pure context for. I have that now. I've gone through the ringer with this football team, 10 years covering Liverpool on a day-to-day basis, and 30 plus years of being an actual Liverpool fan, and to actually see it, even though we've not even seen it, just to know that it's done, to see the graphics, to see the players celebrating, to see people, you know, climbing the Paisley gates in celebration in face of all the shit that we've had to go through and all the shit that's going on in the world, I think was absolutely just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Has it hit me yet? No. And again, and until I see it lifted, until I see the players waltzing around, even though I won't be able to see it in the flesh, which is devastating, that would only really, at this point, I thought I'd be more, I don't know, I thought I'd be more detached from it, and I'm not. And again, that goes to show you, anyone who's maybe looking to like, well, maybe it's taken the shine off it for you. It genuinely hasn't. You know, could it have been better? Yes, maybe, but I'll never know how much better it could have been. All I know is that this is amazing. It's genuinely amazing after all this time. And you know, he won't want praise. He won't want singling out for praise because he's a very humble man, but so much praise needs to fall at the feet of Jurgen Klopp. So I'm sure he's not watching this, because I know he prefers to see the videos of people dancing around and stuff like that. But Jurgen, thank you. And I know it's not just you, and I know it's the people who work tirelessly alongside you. It's the people you've brought in. It's the people that the owners have brought in. Liverpool is a living, breathing organism. It is a system of people put together that has now been put together to deliver success. And you all deserve praise, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to individually single you out, because I don't think anyone in world football could have done what you've done. And even if it's just as a figurehead, even if we want to downplay all of the brilliant skills that you bring to the table, no one could have led it the way that you have. So yeah, I hope to tell you this in person in the coming weeks and months. I hope to be able to give you a hug. I hope to be able to buy you another bevy to go along the one I bought you for winning the Champions League, and I hope to be able to do that sooner rather than later. But I can wait. We can all wait. We can all wait for the proper party and celebration, because if this is the party we're having now, given the environment that we're living in, can you even begin to imagine? Can you even begin to imagine what the party's going to look like when we're finally let out and we're finally let loose and we can finally celebrate it properly? I genuinely cannot wait for that time. I am immensely proud. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be a Liverpool fan. I'm lucky to be born where I was born. Lucky to have the dad that I've got, who raised me right. He might have raised me as a kid and be upset that I like DC Comics more than Marvel, at least in my youth. That upset him, but at least I turned out right as a football fan, and that's down to John Machin for that one. I staggered, blown away, made up, champions again after 30 years. Finally, I didn't think we'd see it. I genuinely didn't, and I certainly didn't think we'd do it this season. This is why I think Klopp and his team deserve so much recognition. Look at the football that Liverpool have played, the way they've constructed it. They shouldn't have been capable of doing that this year. Given the exertions that Liverpool have had in the 2 years that have gone before this, going as deep as you can go in 2 seasons because of the European Cup, the heartbreaks and the highs that they've suffered along the way, I thought all I wanted from this season was to win the Super Cup, the Club World Championship, and maybe pick up a League Cup or an FA Cup and have a good go at the league, because I didn't think we'd have the legs for it. And instead, Liverpool have rocked up and absolutely smashed the league everywhere. They've broken the record that is now the earliest win in Premier League history, with 7 games to go. And this side, I hope, will be recognised as one of the greatest of all time. And they've got an opportunity here. And whether they do it or not, I'm going to level with you. I don't care. I wanted that title more than anything else, and everything else is just a bonus. But if they can go down and break more records along the way, it deserves to have their names heralded in the record books, because they have been good. So they deserve a points record and deserve everything else in between, because they have been genuinely magnificent this season. And you know, Jurgen Klopp has built Liverpool back up to being a bastion of invincibility, to paraphrase the man Bill Shankly himself. And I couldn't be just couldn't be happier. Thank you so much, Jurgen. Thank you so much, Liverpool. Hopefully this is just more to come, more and better from this incredible Liverpool side. This wonderful team of warriors that have been constructed to go out there in our honour. We used to worry that the players didn't give enough, that they didn't represent us properly on the pitch. Well, fuck that, these do. These lads get it, and they're an absolute joy to behold. They make me feel proud beyond words. Listen, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that's it. Liverpool are champions, Premier League champions, to the 19th time champions of England, the biggest football club in England, the biggest football club in Europe, the biggest football club in the world. Outrageous. Listen, leave me your thoughts and feelings in the comments section underneath. Absolutely incredible. Love you guys. Love Liverpool. Love Jürgen. Love everyone in between. See you all soon. Bye.